Chapter 9 of Indian Contract Act of Bailment, Section 148 to 181. Pawnee has right to retain the good placed for the payment of debt for which goods were placed. 2 is wrong. Payment of subsequent debt if there is a contract to effect interest on the debt and expenses for preservation of placed good. Answer is 1, 3 and 4. B. A contract between a financier and a purchaser of vehicle involve advance of money by the financier for the purpose of a vehicle is governed by which principle of the Indian Contract Act? Answer is bailment. Bailee is a person to whom the goods are delivered. The delivery of goods by one person to another for some specific purpose is known as bailment. The delivery of good by one person to another for some purpose upon a contract that they shall, when the purpose is accomplished, be returned or otherwise disposed according to the direction of the person delivering them, is a contract of answer bailment. Adamins versus Jarvis is a leading case on bailment. Bailment is defined in Section 148 of Indian Contract Act 1872. Which one of the following deal with how delivery to bailee is to be made in Indian Contract Act? Section 149. A delivers a piece of cloth to B, a tailor to be stitched into a suit and to be returned to A. The contract between A and B is a contract of bailment. The term bailer is defined in Contract Act. When goods are delivered by one person to another for some purpose upon a contract that they sell, when purpose is accomplished, to be returned to otherwise disposed of according to the direction of person delivering them, the transaction is called bailment. X hires a carriage of Y. The carriage is unsafe, though Y is not aware of it, and Z and X is injured. The injury of X and Y, for the injury of X, Y is liable. Y is liable. Reference to illustration B of section 150. Which one of the following are the duties of bailee? Duty to take reasonable care of good is duty, right? Duty not to make unauthorized use of good right? Duty not to mix his own good with the good of bailed, right? Duty to compensate when good and damage despite and care of the bailee, wrong. Option is 1, 2, and 3. B is right. A lend a horse to B for his own riding only. B allows C, his close friend, to ride the horse H. C rides H with care, but the horse fall accidentally. Both H and C are injured. B is liable to pay compensation to A. Reference to illustration A of section 150. If the bailee, without the consent of the bailer, mixes the good of the bailer with his own good in such a manner that it is impossible to separate the good and deliver them back, the bailer is entitled to compensate by the bailee for the losses of good under section 157. A gratuitous bailment is terminated on the death either of bailer or bailee. Reference to section 162. Finder of a lost thing which are commonly are subject of sale may sell it when the lawful charges of the finder in respect of a thing found amount to two-thirds of its value. Reference to section 190, 169 2. Section 170 of Indian Contract Act deal with particular lien. In law of contract, bailer is pledge. Bailer in pledge is called pawner. A contract of pledge is a contract of bailment. In a pledge, ownership of property of goods continued in pleasure. The bailment of good as security for payment of debt or performance of promise is called pledge. The pawnee has right to retain the good pledged for payment of debt, interest, and all necessary expenses in respect of the good and pledge. Reference to section 173. Which one of the following is correct? C is correct. Pledge may be by the mercantile agent is valid. A leaves a cow in the custody of B to take care of. The cow has a calf. In the absence of any contract to the contract, in the absence of any contract to the contrary, B is bounded to deliver calf as well as the cow. A reference to illustration of section 163. Placed by sailor in the possession of good after sale is valid. When the pawnee has obtained the possession of good placed by him under the contract under a contract voidable under section 19 and 19A of the Contract Act, and if the contract is not rescinded at the time of pledge, the pawnee acquires a good title.